Welcome back in, everybody. Donny Baker here with the LPR Sound Foundation. Yes, we got the solo guitars in. We recorded them yesterday, and I'm giving them to you today. Now, these are the takes put together and comped together that the artist liked. I am giving you well, not all the takes, but I'm giving you some of the takes that we took that we thought we were pretty good, but what you have on your screen, what you're going to see on your screen here is these are the ones that the artist liked. Okay, these are how he liked it. May not be to your taste, whatever. So I'm giving you all the playlist. They'll be underneath these sections right over here, and you'll be able to make your own, create your own. If you don't like a part, change it. Fix it, comp it in there. Let me play it for you. You can kind of hear what's going on. Now, my drums, I did edit my drums and mix my drums. Hopefully you guys have mixed your drums. I'll show you what I'll kind of show you. Well, you'll see the session. No, you won't. I'm not sharing my session with you. I want to see your session. I want to see what you do with the drums. I'll show them to you. So anyway, here you go. Let's take a listen to this solo part. I'll tell you what I did in a minute. I'll show you. I'll explain how I thought about this. This part has a wah. That part's got a wah on it, and I'll explain why I did what I did when you hear this stuff. Comes back to the wah off, and now in unison. Now, my thought process on this, because he liked the wah section there, but I kind of like coming in unison. Now, my thought process on this was that I see two guitar players on stage. One guy takes a solo, the other guy takes a bit of the solo. He got a wah on his rig, and then the other guy comes back and does a little something, something, and then they come together and finish it up. And that's why I've got them panned a little bit. I think I got them panned 90 and 90%, 90%. So you guys be creative with it, man. Do what you feel is best on this. Now, the way that this is, the way that you see that I recorded it, I have two different guitar amps. They're right there. I have two different guitar. I'll throw a picture of the amps up right here. I have two different guitar cabinets. One's an ISO cab, which is actually in my vocal booth, which is right there. And then the other one was in the live room, right on the other side of the glass right there. And I had two microphones on that cab and one microphone on that cab, and then of course a DI that you can, and you see that I did use, I put a SansAmp on. Look, SansAmp gets no love. It used to be free. I think with Pro Tools 3, it came with it. And there's nothing wrong. Dude, it works great. Just to blend a little something extra up in there that might be missing, a couple of frequencies that might be missing from what I recorded. Now, the guitar amp that had two microphones on it, I blend the two microphones into one input. I had a SM57 and a Sennheiser 421 on a single 12 Bogner cabinet. Okay, the Bogner cabinet was on the floor, and I had two gobos right in front, so it didn't splash around the room too much. Okay, and I blended them together. And honestly, man, I just used the preamps that are here on my Audient console. Now, I did run both cabinets, the SM57 from the Bogner and the SM57 on the ISO cab. I did compress on an 1176. Okay. Light compression, I think 4 dB of reduction, if that, just to keep everything together. Okay, so that was kind of my signal chain. That was kind of the chain, the setup. So you guys will hear it. There's plenty of takes. I think there's 5 takes of everything that I kind of comped everything from. You'll see it. You'll see it in the session. All I'm sending you is the solo guitar and the rhythm guitar. Okay, now the rhythm guitar, let's take a look at the rhythm guitar stuff. I did do some edits on the rhythm guitar. I did hear on this, especially on this section right here. Let me play it for you. I did do a little edit on that, and what I did, let me go zoom in really, I just put a tiny little fade on here. See it right there? It was clicking when it came in. And because it was out there all by itself, I noticed the click. You might not notice the click. The artist didn't notice it, but I noticed. I knew it was there. So I put a tiny little fade on it. I'm not a big fan of tiny little fades because you can't see it when you're zoomed into this position. But on that one, I don't mind because I did it. I know it's there. Okay, so this is the kind of the edits that I did on all the rhythm guitars, but they are kind of mixed. You see, I do have them I got the panning the way I like it. I got them mixed, blended the way that I like it because it sounds pretty good. I did do a rough mix on this yesterday because we're going to be recording vocals on this week. Okay, so the next session you get from me will be the vocals. You should have all the parts. I'm still waiting on the bass. The bass that's in here is scratch. So we're still waiting on the bass. Okay. Okay, so the bass that's here, the bass that is here is a scratch bass. I'm waiting on the bass. The bass player is in another city, and apparently he's been busy. He's a very popular bass player. He's not cheap, but he's really, really good. So I'm waiting on his tracks, but it's going to be really similar to this because I talked to him this week, and he's just going to add a little bit of his flavor on it. So it should be pretty similar to this. I would go ahead and blend this in if you want. I just have a simple, I think I have a simple Waves plug-in on there just to give it a little bit of beef. We actually played this with a cheap bass guitar, so it wasn't very good. It went straight in on a DI, so no big deal. I'll make sure that you have that on this session. Make sure you have the bass, the solo guitar, and the rhythm guitar. Next week we'll be sending you the vocals, and then we'll start mixing. Okay. For now, this is my drum mix. I'll share my drum mix with you, show you some of the plugins that I've used. I didn't do too much. First thing you should do, always in a mix, first thing you should do is after you organize your mix the way that you like it, color code the ways, things that you like, name things the way that you like them, whatever, is to do a static mix. And by a static mix, what I mean is before you insert any plugin, get things sounding the way you like it with just levels and panning. Okay, as you kind of see here, if we zoom in on my hi-hat, dude, my hi-hat's way over here because this is where the drummer's playing it. He's playing it on his left side. Okay, yes, I pan as though I am the drummer, not the audience perspective. Okay, it's your choice how you do that. 50-50. If you ask 10 people, you're going to get 5 people one way, 5 people the other way, promise. That's just how it works in our business, man. Look, this is my mix. Your mix is going to be completely different. Your mix might be better than mine. Your mix might end up on the record. Oh, I haven't told you about that part, have I? Yeah, we'll talk about that part next week, okay, when we start mixing. But, yeah, your mix could end up on the record. And this is the challenge part. I want to see I want to see the mixes that we get. Dude, if your mix is good, I'm putting it on the record. My mix is good, but yours might be better. So let's see. Let's see if your mix is better than my mix, and if the artist likes it better. I mean, that's the thing. It's up to the artist which version of the mix goes on the record. And he's in agreement that we're doing this, and he's not, he's a nice guy. He's going to let you slide on. He's going to let me slide on it. So look, your mix might make the record. Just keep that in mind, all right? But anyway, here's my mix. You can kind of see what I did. I wasn't a big fan of the kick drum sound that I had, so I did use a trigger on that. And then I love these solid state Logic plugs that come with your slate stuff. These are really well done, man. And they have a drum strip. I like it. It works for me. I use a preset and then I dial my stuff in. Look, I got a gate, transient shaper, low frequency enhancer, high frequency enhancer, and a Listen mic compressor. Everything that SSL is wonderfully known for, I'm using it. Got a distressor I got an EQ and a distressor on my sub kick. You see, I'm taking off all the high frequencies, getting rid of those. I don't need them in my sub kick. And then the distressor, of course, is awesome because it's a distressor. I do like the distressor. The distressor's pretty cool. I did add my reverb to the snare. Now I always record a reverb. I have a room verb that we use, but I sometimes record. I have an SPX 90. I wasn't a big fan of it on this one. I'm using the UAD Capitol Records, and just pulling a snare chamber and adding a little bit more pre-delay. and it works. I'm trying to get a real Led Zeppelin vibe on this, and I think I achieved it. Let me go to the let me play these drums for you. I'll go to that solo part where the drums are, and you can kind of hear the drums going into that solo part where the Led Zeppelin is really there. That's where you really hear the Led Zeppelin. Right there is where that John Bonham came out of this kid, the drummer. So I'm using triggers on the toms, just a little bit, just to blend them in a little bit. I'm not using them at 100% mix. Some of my toms are still in there, but I do like to add a little bit of beef to them, just to give them more that you know, give them a little more. You know what I mean? But I'm not using any EQs or anything on that. That's just, it is what it is. The hi-hat, a little EQ. Another hi-hat, I duplicated it and added a little bit more sizzle to it so I could blend it in, so I can give it just a little bit more. So that's what I did on the drums. You guys can do what you want on the drums. I'm excited to see what you do. I can't wait to see how your mixes come out, and I'm here for you, man. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure that you email me. I'll put my email here on the screen for you, and let me know. Let me know if there's any questions, or if you got comments, or if you want to, you know, just let me know. Email me. I'm here for you. Like I said, next week we'll more than likely get the vocals in next week, get them comped up the way that we need them, and I will send you those. I'm not going to send you vocal takes. I'm only going to send you the comps that the artist wants in his song. Okay, so there is that. He does bring in a vocal producer, so the vocal producer will be here helping him get the best of his vocals out there. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoy this. Let me know how everything comes out with the guitars. Leave a comment down below, or again, shoot me an email. And if you missed the first video, I'll link to it right here. We'll see you guys next time. Donny B, I'm out. Peace.